I've been asked today, just basically, I'm going to talk to you about my initial way into the army, and also the first British insurgent into Basra in 2003, which I was indulged to have the pleasure of doing. And also how I've handled my PTSD, and what I basically do now to help myself and basically help others, which I will go on to. Just a quick bit about me. I'm 29 years old. I've been interested in the British Army from the age of about 16. I was quite late. My granddad served in the REME, that's the Rural Electrical Mechanical Engineers, which was a good trade. However, when I went to the British Armed Forces Careers Office, being from Cornwall, we have a tradition like anything, and I was not told to, but I was encouraged to join a part of the army which was actually true to my area where I lived, which was Cornwall, which is the old Duke of Cornwall's Light Infantry, which is basically the dark green beret. It's one of the better parts of the infantry. The army's foot soldiers, if you like. So 1997, I joined the army. I did very well at school. I basically went for the worst job possible in the army. I do regret that now, actually. I really wish I went in and done something and, you know, got a trade behind me. Anyway, let's not turn back the clocks too much. So I joined the army and passed my basic training with flying colours, very fit, fitting quite well, and got on with it. The hair came off and I became a different person, as we all did. My first posting was Cyprus, which was, you know, for a 17-year-old to be told that you're going to go and live in Cyprus was like telling a kid he can have, you know, a whole year of candy just this afternoon. It was amazing, you know. We were jet skiing and, you know, doing amazing things. You know, we used to finish work at 1:30 in the afternoon, and that'd be it. We'd hit the beach, you know, with the bottles of Keo. It was great. It was fantastic. Every soldier's dream, if you like. I came from quite a poor background, so even being abroad was, you know, was special. Let alone being in Cyprus, which probably is now still one of the better postings. Our job in Cyprus, just quickly, I don't want to go back too far, was some of us had to patrol the Green Line border, which was the difference between the Turkish Cypriots and the Greek Cypriots. That was primarily our job out there. Fantastic place. I do recommend it to anybody. Obviously, I'm dying to go back, and I know Martin is as well, as a civilian, because the goldfish bowl effect out there was quite bad because of an incident that happened with 2 green jackets a few years before. That led on then to our battalion being posted into Edinburgh in 1999, and another great place. We formed a rock band from Cyprus, and we played at various locations in Cyprus and indeed in Scotland. I was a keyboard player and a singer as well, as some of you might have heard earlier what we're doing now. I'll come to that in a minute. From there, we got deployed to Northern Ireland, and also went to Jordan, worked with the Americans, went to South Georgia, Fort Stewart, which I'm sure a few of my friends here will know about, Savannah, and got to work with the United States soldiers in case of future deployments in you know, sandy areas, which somebody must have had a fortune teller there that day, because it obviously happened. That was 2001. Just going to skip forward. I went to Germany 2002. Was based in Paderborn. I don't know where that is in Germany. I was just flown there and flown back. I haven't got a clue about the map of Germany. I do apologise. I may even be close now. I don't know. I know where my hostel is. Okay, sorry. Anyway, yeah, went to Paderborn, and we became, from a rifle battalion, we became an armoured battalion, which for people that have no idea about the infantry or indeed about the military, it's basically doing the same job as a foot soldier, but having a tank with you. That's the best way I can explain it. And there was the threat, obviously, everything going on, and we speak about 9/11 and you know, all the bad stuff that was happening. Obviously, I went on Christmas leave 2002, went back to Cornwall, and there was the panic and everything that was happening on the news. This is before the you know, the Gulf War had started, the Iraq War had even started, and I went on leave. I was lucky to have 3 weeks leave. Came back December the 28th, so I was in Germany for New Year's Eve. And February the 17th, we deployed out to, we flew straight to Kuwait. At first, it was something that, you know, I told my mum on leave, you know, she said, oh, you know, it might not happen, because nobody knew anything then. You know, obviously, Iraq's been going on for a while now, but in 2003, we really didn't have a clue. Nobody had a clue, from a commanding officer as a second lieutenant, or a captain, or even a private or a corporal. Nobody knew what was going on. I don't even think the generals knew, or perhaps they weren't telling us. Anyway, as I say, things got really, really bad, and we needed to, the rifle companies, A and D company from my battalion, flew out to Kuwait and spent 2 weeks, I'd like to say sunbathing, but I shouldn't. Acclimatising is a better word, isn't it? Yeah. Getting used to the heat, I suppose, and basically, you know, learning how to do stuff in the adverse temperatures of sort of 40 degrees with £100 on your back. After 2 weeks, the exercise, or the, you know, the acclimatization process became reality, and we basically we had two parachute regiment in. Just for people that don't know, people that jump out of the planes. For people that don't know, for people that do know, I do apologise. They were already in a holding location just south of Basra, which we named the Crown Jewels. Typical British. So we went to support them, which was just south of Basra. What I'm here to talk to you really about now is the insurgence into Basra, the horrific insurgence into Basra, what we did in our time in Basra, and what happened afterwards. It was March the 17th, St. Patrick's Day, funny enough. There was no Guinness, unfortunately. We went up to the Crown Jewels. Two para were taking heavy fire, and we were extending our launchers, the huge tube launchers that you put on your shoulder to fire at tanks. Law 94 is the one that the British soldiers use. I do forget what the American soldiers call theirs. Anyway, the tubes that blow up tanks, basically. We were extending those, and we would make sure that they were all oiled up, and make sure that all the equipment, all the ammunition and everything was going to be, you know, all working correctly. As we were oiling up the tubes, extending them to make sure that if we needed them, obviously to blow up a tank, that they would extend and they haven't been jammed together with sand and dirt. Unfortunately, one of our own rockets, it actually blew up. We had a bad batch. This is 10 minutes before the insurgence into Basra. As you can imagine, smoke everywhere. It was about from here to where I just ordered a cappuccino for the 17th time today. It was that close. Where it all happened. Big cloud of smoke, people with shrapnel all over their face. One of mine and Martin's true best friends in the army, a good boxer, good friend from Doncaster in Yorkshire in England, Mark Stessel. He lost his arm completely. He didn't have any of his arm left, you know. So that all happened 10 minutes before we was about to roll from the Crown Jewels and travel north to take over Basra and to actually occupy Basra for the first time, which is quite horrific. Our major that was in charge of this here obviously got a special award just for this achievement. I'll talk about it more later. So we managed to get it all together. We had to change the whole batch of launchers. We had to get a new batch of launchers in, and then we had to load up, get in our warriors, the armoured personnel carriers, join the tankies. We were working with two UK armoured div, which is the Challenger 2 tank, which is the British tank. And we occupied Basra that afternoon. Pretty amazing how that happened. And then all of a sudden, you know, we were somewhere else, still being professional, obviously. We took over the largest building, the second largest building, I'm just going to correct myself there, the second largest building in Basra, which was the library. Huge building and a good central point to send out our patrols. Obviously, several contacts on the way. When we got there, we still had a rocket in our back bin where you're supposed to put spare petrol canisters, and all your spare kit and everything was supposed to go in the back of these bins at the back of the tank. We still had a rocket actually still in there. We had to get someone to come out and clear that because it was still live.